Hi everybody, Perspective Knox here. I'm sitting at my desk, and something I was thinking about that us photographers run into a lot, and something that you'll hear a lot on this channel is I coined the term when inspiration strikes. A lot of us artists, we really can't do anything creatively, or at least I can't, without really inspiration striking me, or something that is causing me to my mind to be in a state of creativity and inspiration. But sometimes it's almost impossible to kind of just work that up in kind of a traditional sense. We need ways to kind of get us going. It's almost like in the morning when you wake up, you need something to kind of get you going in that realm. And so for me, coffee, when I'm up and I'm groggy and I get coffee, it kind of gets me up going to get on with the day. We kind of need that also as photographers. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but for me, I do things totally based off inspiration. And if I'm not really feeling inspired, it's really hard for me to want to go and do photography. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is really doing things to kind of almost like coffee, like work yourself up to doing and being creative. One of the things that has been really, really helpful for me, if you can see in the background there, little shameless plug, I've been actually really getting into and using essential oils along with my photography and my creative juices, if you will. So if I'm wanting to be inspired or something, I'll choose an oil and I'll diffuse it next to my desk, and it will just kind of start to breed inspiration. One of those, there's an oil called Inner Child, and it just kind of brings you into that place of like your inner child coming out. And that's where imagination and inspiration strikes. I mean, imagine if you could have the brain that you had when you were 4 or 5. Imagine the imagination that they have and the worlds that they can create in your mind. Well, we can do that as adults. We just have to kind of cultivate it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my home. One of the ways that you can inspire inspiration to do photography is you don't need to like work yourself up to like go outside. Just start small and really turn your camera on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera on. I'm going to turn it to black and white mode. And I'm just going to go around my house. You're around your house all the time and you know everything. You can probably memorize in your mind all the doors and all the square footage of your home. But if you go and you purposely take photos of your surroundings and look at it from different angles and top and bottom, you can start getting yourself inspired even just in your very home. Maybe you've already done this. Maybe you're like, well, how can I possibly... Or maybe you've never taken pictures inside your home. I want to do it in black and white because I think black and white creates a dreamy kind of an imagination sparking type viewpoint. And so when you can look at something without the color there and just black and white, you can get some nice shadows, you can get some nice contrast, and you can start getting something where we see in color all the time. And then when you can look through the lens of black and white, it opens up a world of creative options. And so that's what I'm going to do. And then you guys will see some of the things that I've done and just kind of talk more about, just cultivating and inspiring yourself to kind of like that whole thing, waking up to imagination, waking up to creativity, and getting yourself going. And almost like a train, like it's slowly accelerating, and then when you're really in that creative flow, you can just run with it. And really taking the boxes off, really taking the blinders off, and getting back to that like inner child imagination state. So I'm gonna go around my house a little bit, turn my phone to black and white, and let's see what happens. Hey everybody, so I just went ahead and did that little practice here. I'm just gonna view this. I could have put them in the Lightroom. I'm gonna view it right here from the flash drive and show you what I did. So I took about 20 minutes and I set, as you can see here, I set my camera to RAW, but I shot in black and white in the viewfinder, and then as you can see I have the previewed mode here of the RAW as well as the color sample. And what's really neat, guys, about shooting in black and white from the viewfinder in RAW and then still having the option of this color image is that basically black and white allows you to really learn and practice working with shadows, working with lighting and all that kind of stuff, not having to really focus on the colors. And then you get a surprise like this. Now, to be honest, I like both of these images. This is totally rough draft. I mean, I went over and I just started snapping shots of stuff in my house. But I really like this option of shooting in RAW and then having these both options, because I actually, like I said, I really like both of these images, but the color here is really nice. It just adds a little bit more to the photo, and everything like that, as you can see. So I really like having this preview section. I don't know what it is. I really like taking pictures of my blue microphone, and as you can tell in this particular shot, there's so little color in this shot. There's a red little light up there, and then this, that it just really makes sense to make this a black and white photo. And so I really, really like, I don't know what it is. I like the way that this blue microphone looks when you take pictures of it. Simply just, it doesn't matter, you know, what type of shots you're getting. It doesn't really even matter what the result is. Just take pictures of anything and everything that you lay your eyes on. Try to get it from different angles, and just get yourself in that, in kind of like drinking a cup of coffee. Like every shot you're taking, you're getting a little bit more creative energy, if that makes sense. This I saw, this is kind of cool. This is a book my wife has, and I really like this one, black and white. It's a beautiful day. You know, right there will get you inspired. It is a beautiful day. I need to go out and take photos, stuff like that. And then I did it in I took this book and did it in a couple different arrangements, leaning up against my tripod there. And then this one is just on the ground on my hardwood floor. This one I just did in a different orientation, maybe not your typical orientation of having it sideways like that. Here's a picture of that oil that I use, Inner Child. And as you can see, I mean, look at the difference between a black and white. I far favor the black and white over the color here. It seems like almost the colors are even distracting here, where this, you can just really, I mean, I'm not saying it's a fantastic photo. I just say here's an example of what black and white can really do to a photo. Here's just a photo of my son's little stuffed animal fox. Kind of some cool colors there, and the colors, you know, colors are kind of nice in this one. But this is kind of interesting too. You'll see in black and white, you'll see that the tones here. Yellow is almost white, red is kind of like a gray, and then these two are like black. And it's really kind of cool to see what black and white can do to different shades, basically. Miss her there. This one's kind of cool. I'll be curious what this looks like in color. I actually like this one in color because this is such a unique book here with this style that I kind of actually like that. I mean, I do like the black and white as well, but I really am liking the design and the colors of those. Kind of see how it makes the details almost even pop, where you kind of get lost in kind of the grand scheme of it. And then here you can really fine-tune your vision into the details of all that. So it's kind of cool. Here you can kind of see how black and white really just kind of makes you really focus right in here, kind of. And then the color kind of almost distracts you here. You kind of almost want to like, what is this? And stuff like that. I really like this photo, and one thing I suggest you guys do, this is something that I do every time after photos, is instead of looking at them like this on my computer screen, I actually will plug through HDMI, micro HDMI, right into my camera, and I'll display it on my 37-inch LED TV, and then I'll look through the photos that way. And the reason being is because when you can look on it on such a huge screen, you see details that you normally would not see. So for instance, right here, you can't really even tell even on this recording. But right in here, you can tell really detailed a fingerprint right there. But I could only see that on my big screen TV. And so this one, I really like it in black and white. It looks really dreamy, and obviously you can tell it's my phone. But I don't know, with having such a shallow depth of field and everything like that, it makes it kind of a cool shot. I don't know. Here's my cheap tripod that I usually mount my phone on when I'm doing videos. This is kind of cool. This is just the fiber optic wire to my microphone. I like this one a lot better. It just kind of, I don't know. Here, you see here in black and white again. It just adds some interest. Here's my 10mm macro tube, and then as I was taking this photo, I saw my little Lego guy back there, so I decided, hey, let's put my Lego guy in there, kind of see what happens.
And as you can see, there's very two different results just in taking out the color. You know, these are untouched photos, by the way. I haven't touched any of these. This is all straight out of the camera. Interesting. Here is my wallet. And as you can tell here, look at the massive difference here. Look at, they got that bright blue light, got this blue cup, a lot of distracting elements. And then you remove the color, and your focus is right where you want the focus to be, right in here. You know, this is my wallet. I wish there was more cash in there, to be honest, but then here, going back to the blue microphone, I just really like the way this thing looks. I don't know why, all the details in here, it's just a fun thing to take a picture of. And there it is again. There's no reason to have this in black, in color. You know, I just feel like black and white just makes it really stand out. And then messing with different angles, different how to compose the shot and framing it up, everything like that. This one I wanted to go straight on. And then don't underestimate the power of cropping too, guys. There's a whole nother option of then after you've gotten the image, going back in and testing out different croppings. I thought about cropping this to where you can really see the detail of the meshing here, the metal mesh, or whatever you want to call it. I thought, here's the, wow, that's way different. Look at that. This you can almost leave as is. This you'd want to try to retouch in post-processing. This is just the what is it? The little eye hole in my door, my front door. This actually gave me kind of a cool idea to have something like this. You have, it would be interesting to put a subject in here, like actually have a friend of yours or somebody, or a girlfriend or somebody to, or your wife, to stand here and kind of get some cool portraits through the keyhole. Or you could get a fisheye lens. But I think this is just kind of a cool thing, using what's around you to get some new perspectives. Here's a picture of, and here again, look at the powerful difference in shooting in black and white here. I mean, this is totally distracting, but there's actually almost some pretty cool perspective angles and lines that kind of are interesting here. But here you have the same angle and lines, but the color is so distracting, and the color is just like, whoa, this wigs me out. So there's another example. And here, you could actually go with the colored one here, just because there's a lot of interesting. This is just a little kid's toy in my bathroom for my son. But anyway, I just really wanted to go through that really quickly, and as you can see, it didn't take very many images, maybe 20 or 30 images or so. And then I was definitely ready to go outside or go and just really explore photography. It really got me motivated. So every once in a while, we just need to kind of get that energy flowing, start kind of priming the pump in a sense of getting that going in our minds. And this book here actually is what really hit me as far as really kicking me into gear as far as, wow, like, okay, it's rainy, it's cold, but it is a beautiful day. And so that was kind of cool, and that really motivated me to go out and shoot. So there it is, guys. There's a little bit of encouragement. Hopefully that helped. Yeah, just go out and test this out. Whenever you get some time, just sit at where you normally kind of maybe go somewhere that you normally sit, a part of your daily routine, and sit in that exact spot, but then get some different pictures or some different perspectives of that exact spot and look at it from a different lens. Maybe either look at it in black and white or sepia or another kind of creative style through the viewfinder of your camera. Maybe you have a Canon and you have a DSLR and you don't have the ability to look through it in black and white. Then you just got to you got to start imagining your world in black and white, and then go back in and do it later. That's what's so awesome about mirrorless and having the ability for the viewfinder to show you the black and white image even before you see the color. So there it is, guys. I hope that helped, and I hope that encourages you and gets you motivated to get out there. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Perspective Knox signing off.